to juggle this binder while I'm doing this. So it should be good entertainment for all of you, even though I'm claiming to be more than that. All right. This is my contact info. I'm Stephen Bender. I teach and learn at UF City Lab. I'm an architect and an educator, and I work between application and speculation. So today I will attempt to instrumentalize some theory. A lot of it is old hat, but I'm interested in just making the picture clear. The first thing I want to do is thank the Academy. And I mean UF, and I'll thank UCF, and I'll thank TEAAS. I also want to thank my students because their execution of what I'm presenting makes it possible in the first place. And thank the other presenters, especially Catherine, who is so experienced at this that she gave back the time that I will no doubt need. All right, this QR code will take you to my references. I draw from the expertise of authors in diverse fields in which I am not an expert. This knowledge and direction is necessary to crack open the problems that we all are working through today. And so the title, More Than Entertainment, is in fact about that. It's about creating a way of looking at themed environments as a place to solve complex problems. So here's what's coming in this 15 or so minutes. Part one, I will construct a themed environments framework based on current knowledge, based on the history of humans for engaging problem solving. In part two, I'll define complex problems. Part three, I'll formulate a design research education. And then part four, I will share outcomes from this pedagogical approach. That's too much for 15 minutes, by the way, so I'm gonna go pretty fast, I think. If you guys can think of any of your own complex problems that you think could be solved in themed environments, please write them down, and think about that. All right, so themed environments in human history, let's go. Early humans were part of a physical, measurable, sensible world. The German term Umwelt refers to a conceptual environment dependent on what an organism's senses and systems can detect and interpret. Humans have our own, but we've never been satisfied with it. We direct humans' Umwelt to compensate for a lack of our own. Think about a dog's sense of smell or sight. Whoops, I missed a page. We create machines and instruments to extend our Umwelt, telescopes, microscopes, thermometers, and light bulbs. Eventually, we may connect to AI, and what kind of Umwelt will that provide? As our capacity expanded, we changed the world. Our ancestors created our niche. The evolution of human physical and mental ability was the reciprocal positive feedback relationship between early humans and the environments they gradually shaped, an activity we are full on engaged in now. Godinger states the case that early humans attached meaning to everything in their surroundings, that they lived in a richly themed world. Fuentes is specific, that it was behavioral and cognitive agility combined with social cooperation and experimentation with symbolic thought that enabled humans the capacity for cooperation, coordination, and language. And in this, we developed a symbolic world. Soon, this symbolic world extended beyond the physical world. Development of working memory and the ability to forecast made imagination possible. Suddenly, we could conceive of things that were not already in the world. This began to move the physical and symbolic worlds apart. In the recent history of symbolic meaning and commerce, Godinger highlights the recent history of symbolic meaning and commerce in human-made environments. And many have carried on that work and provided numerous cases and have spoken here in the past. He's clear that these environments of exchange are not one way and that people consume and produce creatively primarily through self-actualization. And we've just heard almost every speaker refer to that. We've been inventing versions of ourselves for thousands of years. Mythical creatures that were like us, but not us, hybrids, and even gods. In this sociocognitive niche, experiences and perceptions of the world exist in experiential reality, well beyond material substance. Imagination is part of the human evolutionary story. Humans regularly undertake risky or unpredictable behavior and wish for outcomes beyond our experience or capacity. We color these actions and develop them further through stories full of meaning, possibility, and tragedy. Along the way, we radically transformed our physical world, creating anthromes. The Anthropocene is more than the material result of humans' modification of the physical environment to the extent that the entire world is our niche. We also live in a cognitive place, wholly made by ourselves, the media environment. This diagram represents systems, but what about us? Where are we living, breathing beings in relation to this? Where do we live out who we are? There's one theory, according to Edward Soja, we exist in the third space. Third space is where everything comes together, where experience is lived out. Immersion, flow, wonder, real-time exchange between the world, the symbols, and our individual experience. We're not defined by them, we react to them. Each person is a hybrid of material systems and experience. And my diagram uses circles, but Edward Soja's diagram more resembles a hurricane, alluding to the storminess of this mix. Themed environments fall into the crucial overlap of physical and symbolic. Mark Goddard defines a themed environment as the material product of two social processes: socially constructed built environments that are designed to serve as containers for commodified human interaction, and themed material forms that are products of a cultural process aimed at investing constructed spaces with symbolic meaning and conveying that meaning through symbolic motifs. This is the definition of themed environments that stands behind the title of our graduate certificate and degree programs at University of Florida, Themed Environments Integration. These spaces and their inspired activities are a lab made to understand ourselves. Some even hypothesize that the parks are the next academy. In them, we might consume, produce, learn, and create knowledge with pleasure. Themed environments throughout human history were always conceived in relationship to exchange, oftentimes markets and money. Why not ideas? Where they serve to help us understand seasonal migration, harvest time, cosmology, identity. We express our alignment, internalization, rejection, our love or resistance in these spaces. This is the space also of the guest and the designer, who are co-collaborators. This provides a framework for activating people, stories, environments, and provides a point of departure for thinking about the human condition today. Themed environments design is a context for positive change. The major problems facing humanity today involve complex systems of stakeholders and issues involving large numbers of people and institutions intermingled with technologies, especially those of communication, computation, and transportation. Health, education, urbanization, and environmental issues all have these characteristics. Themed environments design can be applied to all of these. We tend to call these problems wicked. To help us understand them, Case Dorst adds particularity to them. calling them a radical new species of problems that are so open, complex, dynamic, and networked that they seem impervious to solution. An open problem does not have a clear border or is permeable. We can't draw a mental circle around it. A complex problem consists of many elements with numerous connections between them so that one change affects others. A dynamic problem situation changes over time with the addition of new elements. A network problem situation is one which is influenced constantly by seemingly unrelated things. All right, this is not going well for time. Part one probably should have been 15 minutes, so you're probably not going to get everything here. All right. It leaves us confounded. At the beginning of this presentation, I asked you to think of your own problems, but let's go big. Major global organizations, World Economic Forum, United Nations foundations, offer a pessimistic outlook on a world plagued by a duo of dangerous crises, climate and conflict. Specifically, climate-related risks, the threat from misinformation and disinformation, societal and/or political polarization, and safeguarding rights and equity. On top of that all these crises are converging everywhere all at once. These are global issues, theming is global, shouldn't we take them on? Can theme design provide meaningful opportunities for progress and leadership for humanity's collective future? Whether consciously or not, theme creations are more than entertainment. Part 3, educating creatives. This study began by answering a challenge posed by Design Research Society and earlier also by Bob Rogers, a call for design education that embraces a new definition of design. Design is now entrusted with solving complex and impactful challenges across all social and economic sectors. And that designers aspire to deliver new and innovative solutions to existing problems. But this idea isn't new. This quote's from 1973. Victor Papanek talked about the fact that we needed to be innovative, highly creative, cross-disciplinary in response to true needs, and stop making poorly designed objects and defiling the earth. The skills that we teach in schools today too often are related to processes and working methods of an age that has ended. We must demystify design, redefine it, integrate research, not replace skills, but add the understanding required to make design an academic discipline. We learn about humanity through reflection. Studying this complex area of human activity, design research needs to have the tools to conduct observations, describe their observations, explain what they have observed, and finally prescribe solutions. Imagine better outcomes. Modern humans identified forms of reasoning. When it is handled with some rigor, design can be considered a form of reasoning. Pragmatist theorists came up with this formula. The world exists as elements, people or things, that are connected through a pattern of relationships. The interaction of these elements creates outcomes. Through deduction, we know if we will be hit by an asteroid. Through induction, well, that's how we figured out how to tell if we will be hit by an asteroid. Normal abduction, how we invent things. An object, a service, a system, which needs to be created. And design abduction, how we approach difficult problems. We only know one thing, something about the desired outcome, and we must figure out what and how, what the elements and how the patterns, and these are dependent on each other. A designer will attempt to bridge the sides of this expression. Design thinking focuses on the designer's ability to generate solutions, but frame innovation, or frame creation model, emphasizes the designer's ability to create new approaches to problem situations with 9 activities. And today we can only focus on 2, themes and frames. Themes, theming, right? Themes are deep factors that underlie the needs, motivation, and experiences of people, our collaborators. These are universals, and I'll leave it at that.